What was that, Tim? No. All right, so we're going live in this chat to do a little Q&A, talk about Fed Chair Powell. We're going to do a video later today on our new channel, Everything Money 24/7. Guys, we got to over 1,000 subscribers in under 20 hours. It was like 18 and a half hours. Very exciting. Got a lot of views in that video yesterday. Very excited about the whole thing. Let's see, what else?
Let's see what old Jer said. Let's see, I want to share this. Boom. What did Jerome Powell say? Rate cuts likely at some point this year. Okay. Oh, did jobs come out today? Is today Wednesday? Yeah. It is. Back to lowest level since March of 2021.
Why does Dalton not have a wrench next to his name? That's a good question. Why does Dalton not have a wrench next to his name? He just goes, when I hit a $10 million net worth, can I get a wrench next to my name in YouTube too? Yeah, so Fed Chair Powell is wondering if he can actually hit 2%. Guys, I think 2%, I don't know why everybody's fighting about this. I mean,
number.
And by the way, it's not even CPI. It's the core CPI. So everybody's got to remember that, because for a while I was confused for a long time going, is it CPI? How are we going to get that? I don't know what else Powell's saying right now. I haven't been paying attention. We're going to look at this later and maybe make a video about it. But guys, you know, I don't look at Powell's decisions as dictating my investment process. I don't change how I'm going to invest based on what Powell's saying, based on what economists are saying. That is something that I learned from Buffett and Munger a long time ago, and I bought right into it the second I started realizing everybody has an opinion, right? You know, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is pick good companies, and if you buy them for the right reasons, if they go down, you buy more of it, right? That's the way I'm programmed. If that's not the way you're programmed, I get it, but maybe you should look at trading or something like that, because buying individual companies, you really got to realize that if you bought your neighbor's mechanic shop, you can't get in and out of that position all the time. By the way, did we confirm that Buffett is selling Apple shares?
I never looked into it.
I really hope that's not true, because I just look at it going, come on, really? Why are you selling Apple shares? That doesn't even make sense. Cedric,
maybe you can confirm that one for us.
I don't know if we should be cutting rates all this year. I mean, listen, cutting rates versus keeping rates the same. I agree. I mean, I don't know, Cedric. I'm not Fed chair, and I know there's a lot of public scrutiny on him, and I know he wants to cut rates as fast as possible to make that public happy. But remember, why would we cut rates? They would cut rates because things get bad in the economy. And I think he also said we're going to have a higher possibility of a soft landing.
So I'm at the CME group. This is the Fed Watch tool. 95% chance for the March 20th meeting. So that's in about 2 weeks that we're going to stay the same.
Yeah.
And then interestingly, when you go to May 1st, 77.5% say that we're going to stay the same.
And before, people were hoping for a March decrease.
Yeah.
And for sure a May decrease.
Yeah. So it's not until June where you finally have the majority saying that they're going to cut rates by 25 basis points, 58.3%.
But again, I asked the question, if they hit 2% inflation, that doesn't mean they just start cutting immediately. That would get inflation back up again. Right. To me, they cut interest rates if the economy is faltering.
Right.
Why would you cut rates when I agree, TC. Yeah. That's my belief too. But listen, they have more data than we have. I don't know if we're just keeping it simple. I don't know. I don't see why you cut rates unless there's a reason, a bad reason to cut rates.
Right. It's almost as if they want to make everything as healthy as possible and then cut rates. And it's like, whoa, wait, counterintuitive.
When people complain about inflation and then they want rate cuts, I'm like, can't have your cake and eat it too. Like that, you realize rate cuts are inflationary. Rate cuts are used to boost economies, not to bring them back down. Mm-hmm. What's up, Pedro? What's up, guys? By the way, for you who don't know, we have a new Everything Money channel for daily not daily, but we're going to do several videos a week. Post the link in the chat. We just started it yesterday. We posted one video. So if you're not subscribed, but you want to receive updates for market reactions, individual stock releases in terms of the earnings releases, like economic reactions, things like that, you got to follow the channel. We're building that up. It's going awesome. Value Seeker, what's up, man? Yeah, look at last 40 years. In my lifetime, rates have just gone like this until March of 2022. That could be why Dalton and I were talking about it. Have we just been in a secular bull market since 1982? I do think the 3 years of 2000, 2001, 2002 were bad enough to consider it. And from 2000 to 2009, the market went this way. To 2008, it went this way. That's a long period of time of flat market.
Rob actually makes a funny point. All the Congress people were just reading and have no idea what they're talking about. It's so true when you see those testimonies. You have these people that are not in any way involved in finance, monetary policy, anything, and they're asking these questions. It's actually quite comical. Yeah,
that's the funny part. It's like when Powell was on the committee being grilled by Congress, and you have people who came in who don't even understand the basics of economics asking questions. Yeah. I just chuckle at that. Remember when Zuckerberg, I always bring this example up. Remember when Zuckerberg was being interviewed by Senator, and the Senator goes, well, how can you offer a free service and still make money? And Zuckerberg's head exploded. He's like, wait, what? He's like, well, how can you do that? He's like, we sell ads, sir. It was incredible.
It's like when Elizabeth Warren was asking about putting the 2 million people out of work, and he's just like, yeah, but the flip side is the whole country is out of work.
Yeah, 2 million people losing a job, or 100 million families feeling exercise. It's more important that we save 100 million families. Yeah, Rob, I think what you're saying there is a good point. A lot of these people just talk to talk. They're just out there to get, because when their constituents are out there, the constituents love seeing this person on the camera, talking, grilling, but it's not really grilling. It's just, imagine if Powell just said, I'm not answering that question, that's a stupid question. Imagine if he had the balls to do that. Would that be incredible or what?
That would be so awesome.
That'd be so awesome. It's the same. Who was the, Mo, you'd know this better. Who was that weirdo who would buy drug companies and then jack up the prices 1,000%?
Mark Scarelli.
Was it Scarelli? What was the last name? Yeah.
Scarelli?
So he was being interviewed by the committee once, and the lady goes, well, you have to raise prices because when you buy a company, if you buy it and they're selling a drug for $80, you don't make money unless the price goes up. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was just like, oh my gosh. And these are our senators and Congress people and House of Representative members who are asking these questions.
Who have great influence on monetary policy.
Correct. I don't know what this means, Sans, but I'm going to release the statement. That's a great statement, Value Seeker. If I owe you $1 million, I'm in trouble. If I owe you $1 billion, you're in trouble. Listen, to that point, there is a strategy that we have as a real estate company where we want as many loans with one bank as possible. Why? Because if things go south, we want one bank to go, shit, we're going to work with these guys to make sure. That's an absolute strategy. A lot of people use that strategy. It's a very common strategy because we want, if we're a small player, if we have 30 loans with 30 different banks, any one of them to be like, you know what, F off, we're moving on. But we have 30 loans with one bank. You better believe they're going to be like, okay, let's work with this. Let's work with this company.
Yeah. They're going to try to take care of you.
Rob, I'm not going to comment on that. Wait a second. I don't think so. Look, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Carolingen. I have a question. In the previous live, you said you were interested by a company like LVMH, but it's too expensive for you, but it's almost the same per as Alphabet. Per what?
So I'm wondering if what they're asking is it's almost the same share price.
No, because LVMH is $800 a share.
It's 180.
Wait, LVMH is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the case. You can't
Please
look at share
confirm.
price. You got to look at market cap and per cap. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you don't look at share price. Because that's the case, then Berkshire Hathaway is $600,000. Should we not have Berkshire Hathaway? Look at Berkshire Hathaway, $612,000. Is that the most expensive stock in the world? No, I think NVIDIA is. It's about value. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. By the way, Tim, can I give you a thank you? The fucking mute on Ring. Game changer for me.
They mean PE.
Oh, is it PE? Is the PE the same?
PE on, I don't know what Google's is right now. I can't remember. PE on is 27.64 on LVMH.
So let's look at LVMH real quick. What was it before? Has it fallen a lot?
That I don't know. I haven't looked at them just because.
Where are you finding the stock prices, Mo?
I was on Yahoo Finance. Just went there real quick. I was looking at Powell stuff.
Let me go to wide charts. I'm just going to go to wide charts and see.
Okay.
Might be right. Listen, I hope you're right because I want to buy that freaking company.
Mo, any updates on what Powell is saying?
I have not looked, other than what I said before. So where's PE? PE on 12-month PE is 22.5 on Google right now.
PE.
All right.
28. So LVMH. Okay. So back here it was like, maybe it's gotten a lot better than lately. Oh, not bad. Oh, wow. Look at their revenue. It skyrocketed. Okay. So this is an example of timing. Great point to bring up. And I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. Look at this. Look at this revenue growth. Mo.
It's insane.
It's over doubled since 2016. Let's look at their profit. Oh my God, it's 4x their profit since 2016. Wow, that's incredible. Let's add that to our list. Oh, by the way, the other reason I don't like LVMH though is I can't sell covered calls on, I don't think, through my bank.
Tim, I'm not seeing any updates from any of these live stories that are coming out.
Okay, awesome.
I'll keep watching, but this story came out 8 minutes ago. Don't expect a soft landing victory lap. Share this for you guys.
What's my take on AMD? Could it follow NVIDIA? Anything is possible. When things are insane, things are insane. So Pfizer, Gary, for me, Pfizer's a tough one. I don't like pharmaceuticals because it's the whole what's in clinical trials, what's in this, what's the pipeline look like. It's just too much of I just avoid them. I go, listen, there's other things. That's part of my understand your circle of competence. That's not part of my circle of competence. Could I get better at it? I'm sure I could, but it would just require way more work than I want to do. I'm lazy AF. I understand luxury goods. Like I look at it going, okay, I can understand Ferrari. I can understand Louis. I can understand all these companies that are out there. I can understand Microsoft, not a luxury good. I can understand Google. I can understand those things. The pipeline thing, it's just not even a business I even like. But it is interesting about Pfizer. I mean, its stock price is down a ton.
It's that, and I really like Pfizer because of their acquisition of Seattle Genetics. And for those of you that don't know, maybe who asked the question, Gary, Seattle Genetics is kind of the antibody place that everybody goes to get antibodies from when they're doing drugs. So now that Pfizer controls that, I mean, they're an incredible business.
Adithya, we're confused as retail investors if we should be fully invested or not. So, great question. Don't think about where the markets are. Pick your plan that you need to get to retirement. Use our retirement calculator to figure out exactly, are you on the path? At the end of the day, there's no use in trying to guess in or out, in or out. You might sit there and say, well, Paul, you're not fully vested. Guys, I've got apartments. I've got businesses. I'm fine making 5.3% on my 90-day treasury sitting in cash. Warren Buffett's got $168 billion in cash. I'm not Warren Buffett, but the point is I don't need to be fully invested. If I only make 5.5% the rest of my life, I'm never going to run out of money because I don't spend my 5.5%, and my business upstairs and my real estate upstairs is far greater than what my brother and I spend. That's why it's different for me. But if you're saving for retirement and you have an end goal, do the retirement calculator, fill it out, and for every dollar that you need to get there, assume an 8% return. Don't assume 9 to 10. Assume an 8% return. Make sure you maximize those. And on the extra money, maybe you're a little more cautious. But don't deviate from your plan of getting to retirement. Let's see here.
Another one. Welcome.
Did you see what Hans wrote? Paul has 2,000 business upstairs, but how many does he have downstairs? We are downstairs right now, Hans. So we only have one business downstairs. Right.
Funny.
No problem, Aditya. I'm really glad you asked that question because it's a very common question and it's a great question to think about. And you should be asking yourself those. I'm just a very big believer in, like my brother and I, we just upstairs talking before this live stream. I said, what's our plan for reinvestment? And I told him anything above our plan for reinvestment, I'm getting married soon. In full disclosure, I'm getting a prenup, but I want to build a plan. I want to build a net worth with my wife and I together, separate of everything I already have. We're going to build a net worth together. So that's part of my plan. And I look at that. That's part of what I'm talking to my brother about. Like, hey, listen, I already have everything I need, but the extra is for her. So how do we work on it together? That's part of a plan. But I have to take care of everything else first, and then I work on this extra plan. And I don't think it should be any different for anybody out there. That part should not be different. Making sure you take care of your retirement based on reasonable returns. What was it? Morgan Housel said he assumed 7% returns. He's like, listen, I assume 7% returns because it forced me to save more, so I'll probably still hit it no matter what. I love that. I think it's great.
Is it time to sell the Magnificent Seven? Interesting you say that.
That was funny, Value Seeker. Boy, Kachi, I have no idea. That thing has so much momentum behind it, especially NVIDIA. That thing is crazy.
NVIDIA is literally the market at this point. Opinion on Apple? I love what they're doing as far as getting into the AI space. I think a lot of people are panicking on the AI from Apple, and people forget Apple doesn't say things until they're ready to bring products to market. They're not going to be like all these other companies promising how great their AI is going to be. They're going to talk about it 2 weeks before their keynote. It'll leak. They talk about it at the keynote, and it goes from there.
I want to talk about Gary, what he just said. Love it, Gary. So Gary wrote, I know you said that for a good company, great future, you should pay a premium. Question, isn't ELF, I don't know what ELF is, worth a premium? Girls will never stop makeup ever. Right. People will never stop eating at restaurants. Should you buy a restaurant chain? People will never stop a million driving cars. Should you buy Ford or GM? Don't look at what the item is. Look at the company. Do they manage their industry very, very well? Are they a leader in their industry? You should care, is their industry going to be around for a long time? And then pay a premium for the best run company. Look at Southwest Airlines. I think Southwest is the best run airline. It's the only airline I'm looking at. It's the only airline I own. It's the only airline I even care to own. But the airline industry in itself, people are never going to stop traveling. But airlines are a shitty, shitty business. That's the way I look at it. So don't just look at the product they're selling. Look at the company itself. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Palantir's killing it today. It's up like 5% today or something, maybe even more.
Oh wow.
I bet you Mo has the lowest cost basis on Apple and anybody in this entire stream, and that's why I hate Mo.
Yeah. I buy it at $188. Oh, wow. Wow.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older and we wouldn't have
Siri
to wait?
is SIRI. Is that like Sirius XM? Yes, it is. I don't have an opinion on them. Big return on invested capital.
Tyler, that made me laugh. Hey, Eddie. I hope so, man. We talk about Sprouts Farmers Market a lot. Me, Dalton, and Mo. Do you see this, Mo? Do you think Sprouts Farmers Market will pull back so they can buy more shares? Oh, so we can buy more shares. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I forbid Nicole to shop at Sprouts Farmers Market.
It's a way to drive the stock down.
And it was so funny because like when it was in the 30s, I was like, all right, Nicole, you can only shop at Sprouts. And now I'm like, you cannot shop at Sprouts. And Dalton asked a great question. He's like, since you're telling her not to shop at Sprouts, is that technically insider trading? Any good book recommendations? Ask Dalton. He has so many.
I just read a great book.
What is it?
It was suggested by Morgan Housel. It has nothing to do with investing.
Okay.
Troubled by Rob Henderson. I just finished. I just listened to a great book.
What's it about?
Great book. This guy was a foster child, lived in 9 different homes by the age of 8. It was a troubled child, bad child, ends up graduating from Yale, and actually criticized a lot of higher education. Guys, if you want to get a feeling for how good you have it in life and how fortunate we are, this is the book. And for those of you who want to understand that our childhood really, really shapes our future, This is a great book. Rob Henderson, right here. A memoir of foster care, family, and social class. Incredible. I'm like listening to the book going, oh my God, where's Mo? Did he leave? Okay, then. Great book.
How long was the listen?
What was that?
How big is the book? Or how long was the listen?
I think it was 7 hours and 20 minutes, but I listened at 1.2. So you listen faster.
So you listened to it in about a week or week and a half?
No, it took me longer than that because I went on a trip at that time. I only do it to and from work.
Okay,
so it probably was, it was probably 2 weeks of actual listening. A week and a half of actual listening.
But it really was good?
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Paul, what did you think about Powell? He said that the Fed won't rush to cut interest rates until that inflation is conquered.
I think it's great that he's saying that. Where the F is Mo? Does anyone verify where Mo is?
He muted himself and walked away.
Okay.
He's dealing with Teddy.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do.
So do you think that we're not going to get... Because they also said that they still may cut rates. They're not saying when and how many. Do you think we even get rate cuts this year if they're still trying to battle that?
I think the way we get rate cuts, my personal opinion based on history, this is not to be said with like I'm trying to make a guess. We're going to get rate cuts if we have a recession. So at that point, you won't want rate cuts, but you'll need it. And you'll be cheering rate cuts until you realize why we have rate cuts.
You said that in one of the videos we did.
I say it in every video.
Yeah, you said like, it's bad if we get rate cuts.
Guys, rate cuts will happen. If they hit 2% inflation, they're not going to just go, okay, we hit it, cut rates. What's going to happen to inflation then? It'll skyrocket. They want to keep inflation lower. Now, there's a happy medium between they don't want deflation, but the way you cut rates is if there's a reason to, because you need to boost the economy. You don't boost the economy that has 3.6 or 3.7% unemployment. You boost an economy that is struggling. Simon, we cannot answer that question for you. I buy Apple at $188 for $10,000. Now it's down 10%. Simon, why'd you buy Apple? If you bought Apple because you were hoping it would go up, then you bought Apple for the wrong reasons. You buy Apple because it's a good value, and then you're going to wake up 10 years from now and your shares are going to be higher because the business gets better, the earnings per share get better. If you're worried about short-term things, stick to SPY or VOO. And those will probably go down, but you're going to own them for a long time. By the way, did anybody notice what I put on Twitter today? I put an excellent thing on Twitter today. Oh, God, I got to sign in. Son of a gun. I basically put about Tesla's 3 years now, and it's down from 3 years ago price. And 3 years ago, the biggest criticism of me back then was you don't get Tesla. And now it's you don't get NVIDIA and AI. Okay, sounds good. It's always something. Tesla's dead. Now I'm seeing people on Twitter going, man, I'm so sick of Tesla going nowhere. It's like, no, you should love that it's going nowhere. The business is getting better. The stock is going nowhere. You should love that. But you don't because you don't buy based on value and fundamentals. That's what we're trying to teach here. Buy based on value and fundamentals.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rob. You're right. It's X.
It's X, yeah. Good question.
Saab, There's always what was I saying? Rob? Oh, who was I responding to? I don't know. Moving on. Stop cherry picking Tesla's short-term pump up. Most did not buy at that price. LMAO. Yeah, they most of them bought higher. That's what causes the pump up to happen is they bought higher.
Didn't that thing get as high as like 400 a share?
414 is the high. 414 is the high.
Wow. What, are they not disruptive anymore?
Hey, Rob, you're missing my point. Rob, hang on a second. You're missing my point. I'm not saying Tesla, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is a company that 3 years ago, everybody said, you're stupid not to own it because of the previous 2 years of pricing. And I said, fine. But the company has done even better in the last 3 years and the stock has gone nowhere. And now the people who love the company are frustrated. That to me, my whole point about it is that's not investing. You're right. Hey, go back 5 years. It's incredible. No doubt in my mind. I wish I could go back 10 years ago and say, Paul, buy Tesla. Of course I could. You're missing my point about that, Rob. My point is to say people follow price movements, not fundamentals. They're not investors. So the same people who are saying, Paul, you don't understand about Tesla, they're just looking at Tesla going like this for a long time and then going, it'll never stop. And then it went like this. That's what it did. And now these same people who at this point were saying it was awesome because it's a great company now hate it, even though it's a better company. That's my point.
Because it's not giving them 200% return per year.
Correct. Listen, I'm not criticizing Tesla. I think Tesla is a phenomenal car company. Phenomenal.
Triggered.
I do worry, though, that Tesla, when they start getting into the whole unions and things like that, it's just going to change the game. Maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That was a great response, Rob. Do you see what he wrote? I did miss your point. My bad. Like you missed Tesla's a tech company. Check mark to that one. Can I laugh at that? How do I heart that? How do I heart that? Can I heart that?
I think so.
No, I don't think I can. The heart's just a generic heart.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Oh, F. That was funny. Good point, Rob.
I would like to own Tesla one day, maybe.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like the Southwest Airlines thing for me. I look at it saying it's in a very, very tough industry.
It is.
It's just like, how do you find, and I still worry about unions in those companies.
They are certainly becoming the only game in town when it comes to the EV space. With Ford dropping out and BMW reducing what they're doing and Rivian and Lucid falling by the wayside.
And look at Santiago, what he wrote. The company is not the stock. Oh, why'd you retract it, Santiago? It was a great comment. It was from Jeff Bezos.
Oh, we still see it. The company is not the stock.
Where do you see it?
We see it on our end over here. The company is not the stock, and the stock is not the company, Jeff Bezos.
So Jeff Bezos said this because he was talking about when the stock went from 113 to 6, and he said, but all of our fundamentals were getting better and better and better. He's like, I was confused by that, but it's because the company is not the stock and the stock is not the company. Same thing we always say. I always put my hands up like this and say, guys, there's a difference between the company and the stock price. Your job is to hope that you're buying this. The company is better than the stock price. But most times, retail investors are doing this. That's okay. That's what we're here to teach. Go ahead, Mo.
So I had a friend over last night and we were talking about this kind of stuff and we actually got into he doesn't know anything about investing. And we got into the example of this, Amazon and the company getting better and why stocks fall and because of public perception. You should have seen his face. He was like dumbfounded by that comment or that quote from of Bezos. It was pretty awesome to watch. Because people don't think about it that way. All they do is think about what the stock price is doing. They don't think about what's behind the company.
Yes, correct. That's the problem. And to me, the best situation is when you find a falling stock price that makes sense on a company whose fundamentals are getting better. Is that Tesla right now? Hey, Professor Oswath thinks Tesla is worth it at 180. Based on his valuations, he thinks it's worth it. More power to him. That's awesome. That's a guy I respect a lot. I don't see the valuation of 180. I can see it on some optimistic levels, but I don't see the probable outcome being that. Oh, guys, it's going to be 1 o'clock here in a few seconds. Thanks so much. I think we got 375 people on this live stream. That's awesome. Great time. Guys, we try to do them every Wednesday. And remember, if you want to learn about our community, $7 for 7 days. Go to everythingmoney.com. Guys, try the thing out. It's the full access. I'm not trying to get you to do a long-term commitment. $7 for 7 days. Get all of our tools. Get the community. Join. Thanks very much, guys.